It's a day to define who you truly are inside. What is your true purpose? How much of yourself do you have left? Is life really that bad? Do you really think it's that tough?
You know, we all go through pain. We all go through pain. We all go through something. We all go through our go-through. I wouldn't have time to tell you about all the trauma that I went through in my life. But I just figured since I went through so much trauma, I might as well use the trauma to make all my dreams become a reality.
You just have to do it. You have to go. You have to take that first step. You have to push. You have to drive. You have to strive every time to get a little bit better. You have to strive not to fall prey to your own doubts and insecurities.
What is it that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose? Because once you find that, it puts you in your power place. See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. And if you don't know what it is that you showed up to do, if you don't know why you're here, I encourage you to find out what your purpose is here. What is the meaning of your life? What will be different? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I've done that. I remember coming from a friend of mine's funeral and I was reflecting on how much time I had left. And I went for a walk in a park thinking about this guy whose life was so promising. And I mean, he wasn't an old guy. He was quite young, in fact. And I thought about all of the things that he said he was going to do, and he never got a chance to do those things. And I started thinking about my own life and how much time I had left to do the things that I would like to do. And at that time, I wasn't sure what my life purpose was, what my life's work was. I wasn't sure about it at that time. And I thought about it quite a lot.
All right, so you wrote it down. Two types of people. So you got my homie that called me the other day. Like, I'm like, this is blowing my mind. I'm like, God, I'm the #1 motivation in the world. Like, I don't know why you calling me and you're not getting personal development from me. Well, this is what I just said. This is my best friend in the whole wide world. This dude, very close. Like, this is the dude I trust with my wife and my kid. Like, this is the person that my dreams, like, he helped me with my dream. I said, why are we on the phone talking about deficits right now? Why are you doing that? Do you know people who don't know me and I'm not their best friend in the whole wide world have gone through one of my programs and now they killing the game, and you know me and you're not killing the game? Like, why are we on the phone talking about, okay, so we're gonna write down, you wrote down your goals and your dreams. I want you to write down on the other side what's keeping you from those, and just be real.
I had some idea, but I wasn't convinced, and I don't think I felt worthy. I didn't believe that it could be me to do this kind of work that I'm doing right now. And I say to you that if you begin to take a conscious effort to find out what it is that you're supposed to do, I say that it can literally save your life. I said that it can literally save your life. 85% of the American public, according to recent studies, are going to jobs that they hate, working on jobs that do not challenge them.
Because I want to talk about the conversation he and I had. Because what's keeping you from that, we're going to have to talk about that, and we're going to have to deal with that today, and we're going to have to finish that for the rest of our lives. So two types of people, right? So we're on the phone. I'm like, yo, God, do me a favor. Like, can we stop talking about your reality? I'm not interested. I'm like right now in marital bliss, and you trying to bring me back to divorce. Like, you talking about your marriage and where they, I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm in bliss, so don't bring me there. I'm a multimillionaire. You talking about you're not making enough money to take care of you. I don't want to talk about that talk. Can we talk about your dreams and goals and get to them? So we're having a conversation, right? And so I said, look, just stop, right? Just tell me, what are your dreams and goals? You're like, to be a multimillionaire, to do this with my wife, take care of my kid. I said, okay, let's talk for a minute, let's talk. But do you know what it takes to be a multimillionaire? He's like, absolutely, and I'm in the industry, as a matter of fact, where in another 3 months, if I do what I'm supposed to do, I can actually make. I said, what? You're in the industry that you can do what? He was like, I'm in the industry where I can make $1 million between now, October, November, December. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, what industry you in? He said, the solar industry. I said, that's.
And as Joe Namath said, if you aren't going all the way, why go at all? But it's doing that in face of the fear. It's doing that in face of the difficulties. It isn't only because someone is great that they say you should either do it all the way to play hard or go home. They're not saying it because the process is in and of itself rewarding. They're saying it because there is something that they're trying to accomplish that demands it, that they're prepared to play on a world stage. And once you know why you're doing what you're doing, once something sits at the core of your being, and despite how difficult, painful, awkward it may be to push forward, you push forward no matter what the odds. And as Hannibal said, one of the greatest military leaders of all time, I will either find a way or I'll make one. And he said that as he was getting elephants across the Alps.
Life cannot apologize. Life will continue to go on. You just happen to be a part of it. But you only got so much time. So you can't waste it. You can't concern yourself about things that you have no control over. When it starts to get tough, you must get a little bit tough. You must understand that you are not the only one in this world that's got a story to tell. The stage is set, and it's time to rock and roll. You are walking into an arena, and you must be ready to work. There can be no weakness. There can be no excuses.
Now, when you think of the difficulties that you face in trying to do what you're trying to accomplish, think about that man amassing an army and getting elephants to climb a mountain and saying not, this is impossible, but rather, if there's not already a way present, I will make one. And when you can look at that, when you can look at your own inadequacies, when you can accept that you are not yet good enough, but you know that you'll put in the work to get there, you know that you'll learn the things that you need to learn, that you will push and you will practice and you will shape yourself into someone capable of doing it. And if you have to literally carve your own path out of the stone granite of a mountainside, you will do that because that's what your goals demand. And when you're prepared to do whatever your goals demand, you will accomplish whatever you set your mind to.
The application and how you apply it will determine the outcome of your success. This place of business, you cannot mess around and play games with it. This place of business is where you pay your dues. You earn your keep. You do what's necessary to push every rep, because the repetitions are gonna come down on you really hard. For every rep, there will be a significant story to tell. Will you be able to push the next rep? Will you have just a little bit more power to get the next one? For every rep tells a story about you.
As Ernest Hemingway noted, the world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are stronger in the broken places. But my question is, why isn't everyone? To me, it comes down to the strategies that you use. There really isn't anything objectively good or bad. There isn't anything that happens to you that can't be overcome. There isn't anything that could happen to you, anything that when you turn inward, you can't find a reason to overcome. You can't find a way to put those pieces back together, and that becomes your job. It becomes literally up to you whether you're going to sit and wallow and woe is me, because what happened, happened, and there's no way to take it back. But how you respond, what you bring to that table, whether you meet fire with fire, whether you meet that adversity with falling apart, becoming weaker in the areas that broke, or you bind them and mend them, and it becomes like a weld that literally makes you stronger.
Negative thinking. Even the best of us experience it. You're carefully going about your daily activities when, all of a sudden, the thought, "What if I'm making a massive mistake?" crosses your mind. The ripple effect follows. I have no idea what I'm doing. How come I said that? Why did I consent to that action? I am unable to carry out that action. The process continues, occasionally reviewing exchanges to assess how foolish you must have sounded or what the other person actually meant. What follows is a crippling chain reaction that, with each subsequent bad thought, sends your mind into a deeper spiral of depression and eventual virtual combustion, rendering you helpless in its wake. It seems as though you were able to instantly blow up your entire world on your own, all within the walls of your own thoughts. We all agree that the seemingly unimportant little things in life often wind up being the most significant. Unfortunately, our hectic lifestyle frequently keeps us from sitting down and appreciating even the most minute details of life. Every event in life has two opposing perspectives. Both difficulties and things for which you should constantly be grateful are possible. Focusing on the difficulties will just increase the amount of negativity in your head. You can increase the positive energy in your head by focusing more on the things for which you have a reason to be thankful. Making a list or journaling about the things that make you joyful can assist in stopping negative thoughts. You can always read your gratitude notebook when a cloud of negativity begins to gather. Stopping negative ideas from entering your life can be done by letting go of judgment and the need to compare yourself to others. Consider the widespread presumptions, prejudices, and stereotypes that you could hold that might help develop negative thoughts in your mind. Once you are aware of what they are, you may begin to come up with more effective approaches to change this way of thinking. When a bad idea arises, this can assist in stopping it. A visual distraction, like this one, can aid in diverting your focus from unfavorable thoughts. Another option is to try to divert your attention. Listen to music, take a stroll, think of something pleasant, or phone a friend. Moving on to a different task where you can focus on something more productive helps you feel better about yourself and gives you a realistically optimistic new perspective. This is a method to treat oneself kindly when unsettling thoughts cross your mind. An interruption, a distraction, and a way to alter the activity of brain networks can all be achieved by taking a caring pause for yourself. According to studies, compassion-based techniques such as telling oneself, "I'm doing the best I can," or "I'm being really hard on myself," can significantly alter how the brain reacts to negativity by lowering self-critical thinking and anxiety over time. Have you ever noticed that no matter how hard you try, you end up thinking about something more and more? When people attempt to suppress unpleasant feelings, they accidentally become stronger. According to studies, practicing mindfulness can assist in resolving underlying problems by respecting and embracing the idea and attempting to work through it constructively. Work on observing the thought without passing judgment. Consider the reasons why thinking in this manner is harmful. Ask questions such as, is this idea accurate? Is this idea beneficial? You can build more precise and beneficial ways of thinking and feeling by adopting a cognitive perspective.
Sometimes God will put an enemy in your life to keep you stirred up. He'll allow critics, doubters, discouragers, even some haters. So when you feel tired and think you want to give up, you'll keep pressing forward, shaking it off, not because you feel like it, but because you don't want to give your enemies the joy of seeing you defeated. Not out of spite, not out of pride. God uses the negative to keep us stirred up.
There is no worse feeling than that of invisibility. You know, when you are doing your very best and it goes unrecognized, it makes it kind of harder to want to keep doing it. And when you feel unseen, especially by the people whose attention and approval you crave the most, it can create a compulsion in your life to start doing things that are not even really consistent with your character in order to receive from people a confirmation that can be taken away just as easily as it was given.
You are the company that you keep. Meaning your circle of friends is an indication of who you actually are, who you are becoming. You show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Because it's just true. The people you surround yourself with are shaping your future. Someone say, check your circle. It's important who you are aligning yourself with. Walk with the wise and become wise. For a companion of fools suffers harm. That's good news. If you lack wisdom today, get around people that are wise. But look what the second part says. It says literally that a companion of fools suffers harm. Have you ever considered the reason why you're always hurt is because all of your friends are fools?
Don't be fooled by all that fake love. Don't be fooled by their phony smiles, their hugs, their I love yous. Snakes in the grass slithering. I hear them coming a mile away. I can smell them, I can sniff them, I can see them, I can taste them. And some of you get blinded by them. Your so-called friends, your so-called homies, your so-called partners, your so-called girls, they there for you when everything's great. They're there for you when you ballin'. They're there for you when you rollin'. They're there for when you got money. They're excited, girl, we gonna do this, man, bro, where we going tonight? The sad story is that when you up, they all riding with you. When you down, ain't nobody in the car but you.
If you're a person where all your friends come to you with their problems, that's because they see something in you. You're more balanced and stable. But you gotta remember this whole saying. If you're the smartest person in your group, you need a new group.
Some of my enemies, I feel like I need to write them a check. If they hadn't have been against me, I wouldn't have prayed so hard. If they hadn't have made fun, I would have given up sooner. If they hadn't have told me I couldn't do it, didn't have what it takes, I might have been complacent, settled where I was. It was their opposition that pushed me forward. Many times, God will use your enemies to catapult you to success more than your friends.
Here's how you know if someone's your friend. A, you can tell them bad news and they'll listen. They won't tell you why, you're stupid and why that bad thing happened to you and how something worse happened to them once and, derail the whole conversation. It's like, go away from that person. They're not helpful to you and they're not helpful to themselves either. You got to surround yourself with people who want the best for the best part of you. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you.
You spend your life performing for a crowd, it'll kill you. And you're like, I'm good. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a singer. I don't perform for people. It's gotten much deeper than that now. It's the feeling that we get when we start offering ourselves up in a form that is more impressive to people, but is not authentic to us. Is the mode that we all get tempted to get into when we start trying to bring a version of ourselves to a situation that we think will make a good impression.
Don't complain about the person that betrayed you. If they walked away, they didn't set you back, they set you up for the fullness of your destiny. If they lied about you, tried to push you down, overlooked you, it may not have been fair. But if God allowed it, He knows how to use it for your good.
Do not be misled. So don't sit around and be like, I think this is what's going on. No, wait, this is maybe what's happening. You don't have to come up with theories. Don't be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Have you ever stopped to consider the reason why you're never able to finish anything you start is not because you're not gifted. It's not because you're not talented. The reason why you can't finish it is because you lack character. Because every time you step out, you don't have the stuff it takes to finish. Yet the only way you're going to get rid of bad character is you're going to have to actually go ahead and get rid of bad company. The moment you remove bad company, you're going to start getting some good character. Somebody say, check your circle. Sometimes there's something inside of you telling you that you are not enough. And since you feel like you're not enough, you start trying to do all this stuff to prove that you are enough. The problem is, the people that you're trying to prove it to aren't even paying attention because they're so busy trying to prove to somebody else who isn't paying attention to the other person. And now we're all posting and proving, but inside we're dying. And you've got to know the places that you cannot go, whether it's on your phone, whether it's in your mind, because there are some places that you need to stay away from on purpose. Because if you go, it's going to kill your joy, it's going to kill your contentment, it's going to kill your sanity, it's going to kill your peace.
You've got to upgrade your friends. It ain't nothing bad, you just got to upgrade people in your life. But if you're the smartest person in your group, you need a new group. You cannot be the go-to person in the group. Don't worry about it. You have a gift. You solve problems all the time. You can earn a lot of money doing that. You know what people pay for in this country? They pay for expertise in this country. The moment you're an expert at something in America, you can make $1 million. All you gotta do is be an expert at one thing.
I don't know how many different ways I can say this. So many of us have to learn this the hard way. They act like they got love for you. Have your friends, have your family, have your relationships. But make sure you pay close attention to the circle, to your company that you keep. Because when you need them the most, I promise you, they will turn your back on you. You need to find you a group of friends. And you need to know in your heart of hearts that if you down, they gonna pull you up. And if they down, you're gonna pull them up.
That person that's holding you back, that person that's bringing you down, that person is you.
Are you gonna say you wanna do something, do it for 2 weeks and then quit like you did last year, like you did the year before last? You say you wanna lose weight, get in shape, get your business off the ground, and then turn around and party, get lit, drink alcohol, eat like crap, and continue to live below who you were created to be?
Comfort zone is dangerous. When you're comfortable, you are at most danger. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. For anybody ever tell you, hey look, you know what? Just be satisfied with what you got. Don't believe him. Get him away from you. Never be satisfied with what you got. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better. All the time. You should double your business. Triple it.
Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut.
Decide today that you will no longer tolerate losing. You are going to be a winner.
I don't negotiate with myself. I don't go, oh, wait, I'm not ready, or let me count to 10, or maybe I'll do it tomorrow. There's none of that with me. I say do. I'm not here to discuss this with my mind. And when I say jump, you fucking jump. Because when you get your blood pushing, when you push beyond what's comfortable, it develops this determination inside you, this sense of will. And when you do that regularly, you're gonna have a different world.
Be the hero of your own movie. If your life was a movie and it started now, what would the hero of your life's movie do right now? Do that. Do those things. Write down your goals. Write down things you want to improve. Write down things you won't tolerate from yourself. Write down things you've done in the past that you never want to see yourself do again. And go forth from here as the hero of your own movie.
Everybody experiences what I'm about to talk about. Everybody has some form of it. It could be in a relationship, a loving relationship. It could be job relationship. It could just be anything, man. So let's talk about it. Life is too short to be waiting on somebody to act right. You know, the clock is ticking. And I don't know if you know that, man, but time flies by sometimes. So you gotta start thinking, man. Life is too short to be waiting on somebody to act right. And I'm not just talking about in a relationship like you married or something like that, which is another one. But my goodness, man, I don't really have time for that. I would rather surround myself with people who add value to my life instead of subtracting from my life. If you got somebody in your life that's always taking and never giving, you're probably waiting on them to act right. If you got a person that's always getting something from you and never say thank you, life is too short to be waiting on somebody to act right. You're in a relationship with a person who constantly does you wrong, repeatedly, and you keep expecting them to change their behavior, and they don't. You know, they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. It's insane for us to continue to wait on somebody to act right, when first of all, you can't make nobody act right. You can't change nobody that don't want to be changed. I've done it before. I've done it in relationship. I've done it with my children. I taught it to them, but I'm waiting on them to get it. And I got tired of it. And I told them one time, I said, hey, I'm done. I'm done trying to get you to move on and let's just have a great life together. I'm tired of you bringing up issues. I don't let people do that to me no more. You stop bringing up issues from the past. We've all changed. Grow up, move on. Now, if you want to stay back there and want to hang on to something in the past so you can keep talking about how miserable you are, go on and be miserable. But life is too short for me to be waiting on you to act right. So now, here I am over here. This is the way I am. If you want some of this love, some of this guidance, some of this understanding, some of this leadership, you need some occasional help, I'm here. But if you want to keep dragging me over the coals about an issue that you can't get past, I'm sorry. I'm no longer available for you. I'm sorry that you can't get past it. I'm sorry that it has bothered you for a number of years. My apologies. Have you ever found yourself apologizing to somebody over and over for the same thing because they just can't seem to get past it? Life is too short to be waiting on somebody to act right. And I look up, man, and I just decided, man, I ain't doing it no more. I'm just not going to do it no more. I'm sorry. If I've offended you, if I hurt you, and I'm man enough to apologize, I expect you to be man enough or woman enough to accept it. You don't have to forget it. I'm just saying I'm sorry and I'm asking for your forgiveness. But if you ain't in the forgiving mood, I'm going to take it to God. I'm going to ask God to forgive me because he will, and then I'm moving on. Me and you ain't got to talk no more. You can't get past it, I understand. But my daddy always said, you're going to either get over it or you're going to die mad.
Time is short. Every one of us here has been given the same amount of time in a day. 1,440 minutes a day, 168 hours per week. I'd write down my priorities and I'd get committed to certain priorities. Now is the accepted time. The things we ought to do, the classes we ought to take, the books we ought to read, do it now. The family that needs you, spend more time now. Write that letter home now that you've been meaning to write. Time for study, do it now. People you ought to witness to, do it now. Every time the clock ticks, it seems to say now. Today. Time is too short for indecision and vacillation. Fools say that time is long. Every morning we have 86,400 seconds to spend and to invest. And each day the bank named time opens a new account for you and for me. It allows no balances and no overdrafts. If you fail to use the day's deposits, the loss is yours.
The one commodity that is most valuable on this earth is time. Time to love, time to live. From the moment the human body is born, it begins dying. Happen faster, some happen slower. Some of us help them go faster, and some of them prevent it from happening sooner than later. How many seconds, how many minutes do we waste every day doing things that are nowhere near the goals and aspirations and passions that we have inside. How many times do you go through the course of a day and realize, did I do anything I set out to do today? Write down those goals each and every day. No matter if it's 2 goals a day, if you can accomplish those, then you're doing more than just making it through the day. You are living and achieving your dreams. Find time to better yourself, read, explore, research, live life, do things you've never thought of doing before. That's what it's all about. When you're born, that's that date that they put on the left side of the tombstone. When you die, they put another date on the right side of the tombstone. But that dash in the middle is the most important thing on that tombstone. That is a line that throughout that entire time frame, you were able to impact and touch others' lives. You were able to leave your mark on this earth. You were able to build a legacy that nobody could change. You were able to have it to where people remembered who you are no matter what. When you're living for that dash in the middle, you're going to remember your why. Your why you're here. Not the why did you do something. Your why, your reason for getting up in the morning, your reason for pushing yourself past the brink of exertion and giving up. Your reason for moving on and getting things done in life. That dash in the middle, that's the thing that pushes you.
How do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of your physical appearance, in terms of your health? Do you take care of yourself? Are you allowing yourself to get overweight and out of shape? Are you conscious of your health? Are you watching the food that you take into your body? Do you make a deliberate effort to exercise? You know, it was George Burns. He said, we cannot help getting older, but we don't have to get old. And many of us get old before our time because we don't take time to take care of ourselves. Your environment is a very good indicator. On a scale of 1 to 10, is it what you want it to be? Do you find it desirable? Are you satisfied? The job or career that you're involved in. Someone said that 85% of the American public are unhappy with their jobs. Are you spending 8 hours a day just doing time? Your relationships. What kind of impact is it having on your life? Is it nourishing or is it a toxic relationship? Does it drain you or does it build you up? Ask yourself that. How motivated are you to do something about it? Your contribution, your actions. What are you giving? Many people will leave the universe without a trace. No one will know they were here. And in fact, under their name, we could put under there, not used up. Will anybody know that you came this way? What contribution are you giving? What will you leave? What will be different because you came this way?
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks.
You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is risk. It takes courage to pursue your dream.
Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is a very uncomfortable feeling.
God wants you to be excited about your destiny so that you can endure the process that brings you into promise. Because there is a process before promise. And if you don't have at least a vision of the promise, the process will discourage you.
Sometimes bad things, horrible things happen to good people. And I don't know why, but life isn't fair.
Life isn't fair. Life just is. It wasn't fair.
The fact that you're still alive and still on this earth, even though it's been challenging and rough, and sometimes you get discouraged and uninspired to keep going. God has a plan. You will grow through what you go through, Everything that you're going through, at some point, it makes no sense to you right now. But at some point, God is going to reveal to you why all of these issues, challenges, and problems continue to show up and what you were supposed to learn from it.
A good person in the wrong place, in the wrong time, can end up just a victim of fate and of reality. And it can be horrible and heart-wrenching, and disease like cancer and MS and horrible diseases and accidents, but when those bad things happen, what are you going to do? How are you going to lead? Are you going to get angry? Are you going to get frustrated? Are you going to lash out at people? Who are you going to lash out at anyways? Are you going to start going down the spiral of negativity? Are you going to let this horrible situation dictate the way you feel and the way you handle it?
All I need you to do is not throw away your confidence. All I need you to do is stay in the game. All I need you to do is put one foot in front of the other. All I need you to do is keep your confidence. Because if you persevere, there's a promise that has your name on it.
And I'm saying to you, if you keep going, if you keep looking for a way, where there's a will, there's a way. If you keep moving, if you keep falling forward, if you keep getting back up, something's going to happen. Bob Marley said something I like. He said, you never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have. You never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have. It's your only option. And you'll discover, if you don't panic, if you don't run, you'll discover you are stronger than you give yourself credit for being. Don't surrender. Don't give in.
Are you going to fall over and fall down and fall apart? Or are you going to lead? Are you going to face this issue with courage and with resolution? I say lead. Lead. Step up to the challenge. Be the one that other people look to. Absorb that impact. Absorb that negativity. Draw fire. Bring that pain to me. I can handle it when maybe others cannot. When bad things are happening, I am going to try and be the one good thing. The thing standing tall that can be relied upon. And in fighting, we will win. And if not the battle, and if not the war, we will win because our spirit, it will never surrender. And that is the ultimate victory. To hold your head high, and even in the face of inescapable defeat, to stand and to fight. That is to win.
Just keep moving forward. Stay busy. Moving in the right direction. Looking, opening doors, knocking on doors, finding a way out of no way.
Life's going to give you ultimately what you'll fight for. Stop allowing God to bless you and give you all this giftedness and opportunity and settle and tolerate less. Don't tolerate it anymore. Yeah, you got to give it your best, but it starts with making a decision that this is over. I don't tolerate this life anymore. Pretty good's not good enough for my family. Pretty good's not good enough for my grandmother. Pretty good's not good enough for my grandpa, my parents, my future children. Pretty good ain't gonna get it done for this family.
Some of you have money. Some of you have patience. Some of you have kindness. Some of you have love. Some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have?
A lot of people give up. They surrender. They run with their tails between their legs. It's a God-ordained opportunity. There are opportunities here in the midst of crises. 3 types of people are going to come out of this: millionaires, billionaires, and witnesses, people who stood around and watched. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And whatever, no test, no testimony, whatever is in front of you, you have the power to handle it. But I don't know what to do. Okay, got that. You don't know what to do. Figure it out. You don't have to know what to do. Walk by faith and not by sight. Figure it out. Everything that exists, somebody was willing to put in the energy and the time to figure it out. When life has been snatched out from under you, when things happen, when there are interruptions, don't miss a beat. Find a way to restart your life. Find a way to do something else. Be stubborn about your goals, but flexible about your approach.